Hello, and welcome to The Language We Live In. I'm your host, Sophie Williams, and in this episode, I had the amazing opportunity to interview 3 of my bilingual friends and hear more about their experiences being bilingual in the U.S. Let's dive right in.
Hi, my name is Tu and I speak Vietnamese. Xin chào, tên của em là Minh Thư and em nói tiếng Việt.
Hi, I'm Amala and I speak a little Kannada and a little Tamil. I'll say Kannada. Nam hesru Amala.
Hi, my name is Natalia and I speak Spanish. Hola, mi nombre es Natalia.
How often do you speak that language other than English?
I speak it whenever I'm with family, almost any time I could, so I could practice it and don't forget it.
Same. I feel like mostly with family. Honestly, we don't speak that much English at home. But ever since coming to college, it's not been easy to keep up with the language. But
Yeah, same here. Like, anytime I'm on the phone with my parents, like, they both speak English, but, like, I try to force myself to speak Spanish so, like, I don't forget it. Sometimes speak a lot more English.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So then, speaking of your families, where does this language come, to you culturally? What is your experience learning that language?
I lived in Vietnam up until I was about almost 10 years old. So I learned speaking, reading, writing, grammar, everything in a Vietnamese school up until I moved to the US.
I do not remember learning the languages. I just remember growing up with them. So I guess I've just heard them since I was born and before I was born probably. So I'm just used to it.
Yeah, same here. Both my parents are from South America. My dad's from Colombia, my mom's from Chile. And so I just grew up with the languages. They spoke to me in Spanish, I spoke back in Spanish. That's how I kind of learned.
As the only first-generation immigrant in this group, we will now hear Tu's experiences learning English in her school in Vietnam.
In Vietnam, it was mandatory that everybody learn English because it was the upcoming universal language kind of. The US was even, I would say the US was very powerful back then. I don't know what's going on right now, but very powerful and respected back then.
Right.
So then it was we all needed to learn English because if we want to go into business, any kind of international work, it would be English. Yeah. And when I was learning it, I didn't understand anything. And I was like, damn, because the grammar is different, the pronunciation's different. There is almost literally nothing similar. Only thing that's similar is maybe some borrowed words like carrots. But most of the borrowed words is from French words. So it was I would probably have an easier time learning French than English. And then I failed my English exam back in Nam. I failed it. I was like, what's the chances of me getting out of this country? 0. So, because it was not culturally, but it was just only rich people get out of the country. So it was a symbol status to even leave Vietnam. So then I was like, I'm not rich enough for that. What are the chances? Very low. So, but I'm here.
Since I learned English at such a fast rate, I was basically translating stuff for my parents, especially with my mom.
Yeah.
So documents.
Those legal documents.
Those documents always. So it's
ooh, they get me mad.
The documents, texting other people, the letters, the mails.
Yeah.
It's I'm a 7-year-old is translating this to an adult. So.
Do you feel that there is more the U.S. could do to provide things in other languages?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not even just the language. There are slangs. There are certain
customs, behaviors.
That is just really hard for them to basically you come here and you're an infant child again, relearning every single thing.
Culture and language. How do you feel it's connected in your life?
The point of the United States is to have that freedom, ideally. And just having that connection with language just felt us feel less alien here. I was, like all of us, raised by immigrant parents. They're not familiar with this culture. It's a completely new world. And when you start to lose touch, when I went to school, I started to lose touch with the language. I felt way more American. Like I felt like I needed to be like that to survive. But bringing that language back when I was maybe in middle school, high school, I was starting to learn how to write Kannada. I had so much more of an appreciation for the language and its historical roots, and I just really wish that I didn't feel like I had to rip it away from myself to stay connected and then bring it back, rather than, just have it with me.
Just thinking creatively here, what would, if you walked out on the street, what would a truly multilingual America look like?
Look like or sound like?
Look like, sound like?
Trying not to limit
Yes.
English being an official language, because I think, especially when the country is like, oh, we're filled with immigrants, like this is built off of immigrants speak different languages, and I feel like we as a country need to like encourage that even more.
100%. A lot of culture is borrowed, and a huge part of that is language. American culture is built up of a billion others, so I think we need to just honor that and continue to stick that through life now in 2025.